sent you to Python.org downloads. So from here, we're going to download the latest version for, in this case, I'm on a Mac computer, so it says Mac OS. It should recognize what operating system that you're on. If it does not, you can always click here to select the one that you correctly need. And I'm going to download Python. It's going to ask what it would like to download to, and I'm just going to save that. And as soon as it gets done downloading, I'm going to open up that new package, and I'm going to continue moving forward. So it's going to bring up the Python installer. You can go through this information very quickly. Essentially, it's good stuff to read, and it's actually never good to just go through these things. You should always read your information. I have already gone through this, so I already know what's here. So I'm going to continue installing it. You can also customize your installation. I choose not to do so. Unless you know what you're doing, it's probably not a good idea to do that. But if you're familiar with installing new software, you may want to customize different things about where the location is for installation, and what folders it has access to, and different things like that. So do you have a shortcut that's created, blah blah blah. So I'm going to install. And it should go very quickly. Some of the things that it's installing are essentially the launcher for Python, also an environment in which you'll be able to run your Python code, as well as create Python code, known as idle. And this is an IDE, an integrated development environment. It's an environment for you to develop your code and also be able to run it so you can see what it looks like. Once everything finishes, looks like it's still going. Although it went ahead and popped up the next piece of this, which I think is funny. I'm going to go ahead and close the installer. But I like to just get rid of mine after I'm done. So, first time I'm watching idle. And this is actually because it's already on my computer. But essentially it should ask you if you would like to give access to certain folders. And you want to allow that on a Mac computer. Your Windows computer probably won't have that issue. If it does so, you want to allow it to be able to access certain folders. So I am going to make some modifications here in my system preferences, in my security and privacy. In my files and folders. What I'm going to do is going to allow Python to essentially run in this folder so it can do what it needs to do. Okay. That change being made, I'm going to close this out. Now you see idle launch for me. Okay. So, cool thing here is that I can type Python code in here directly. Say if I want it to print, my name is Professor Stevens. Notice you see I put quotes around it. That lets it know it's a string. Print is a function that we use for output. When I do so, oh, cool. That's what it says. So I can also go to File and go to New File to create a new file. This will open a new Python file. It will call it untitled for now because we haven't saved this as anything. And you actually have an assignment coming up, which you're going to use what's known as triple quotes here. And you're going to type out an introduction of yourself to me so that I get to know you. Great thing about using these triple quotes here is that you can then press enter and it'll go to a new line and you can continue typing. As you can see, it'll even allow you to tab. You can do all kinds of fun things there. Okay, but then you're in your triple quotes, you close it out, and I can now save this file. I usually go to run module, and it'll automatically ask you to save it. And I'm going to save this as just a test. Let's save it as a Python file. It's going to run it. Boom. As you can see, there it is. Your introduction will be an actual introduction though. And then you will zip that file and email it back to me. So I wanted to show you that so you could get a glimpse of what this stuff looks like. As you can see, We can create new files, and this is where we'll be essentially creating our programs. But the idle shell is where we'll see the work that comes through when we run our Python programming. We can also type directly in the idle shell if you'd like to, and it will run code. So that's Python and that's idle. So you'll be using a lot this semester. Look forward to talking to you again.